Now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
All right, Susan, thanks very much. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to a Monday night edition of the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call right here on Pittsburgh CW and the Borders and Borders Hotline. Bob Pompeani and Ron Cook with you tonight. We take your calls at 412-575-2600. Penguins have a day off, and then they go on the road. And tonight they watch the Washington Capitals win again at the expense of the New York Rangers, who have really put together a very young lineup. They had two 19-year-old rookies make their debuts tonight. One of them, Elias Anderson, got his first NHL goal in his first NHL game. The other kid came up and assisted on another goal, but Washington wins that game, which means they're now 5 points again ahead of the Penguins. Each of these teams have 6 games left. And on that note, we welcome in Ron Cook at the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette and 93.7 The Fan. And boy, the Penguins, there is a lot to talk about there. Number one, they're scoring a lot of goals, especially against Philadelphia, 5 on average. Yesterday, Sidney Crosby continued what he started over the last couple of weeks, Ron, and that is playing 200-foot game at a level no one else can reach.
Yeah, his goal last night in the third period, he fought off Couturier with one arm, and Couturier is an outstanding defenseman and a big man. Fought him off with one arm, had to control the puck with one hand on the stick, and then fired the shot by the goaltender. I don't know how many guys can make that play. And then he almost made the same play later, did the same thing, set up Gensel for a great scoring chance, and Gensel just got stopped by the goaltender. What a great offensive performance, Bob, but you got to be worried about 45 shots. You got to worry about them tightening up the defense a little bit. Yeah, they scored 5 goals in all 4 of their wins against Philly, but I don't think you can count on winning 5-4 every playoff game. You got to get some defense going too.
Yeah, it's defense. It's also in the form of shot blocking, which they did very well the last 2 years. And shot blocking is something we haven't seen a lot. Some people out there seem to think it's something you could just turn on and off. It's not. It's technically very difficult to do if you're not equipped to do it. And I think if you look at their team right now, they don't have the same pieces. Ian Cole was the best at what he did at shot blocking. Nick Bonino, Chris Kunitz. Derek Brassard was brought in to help Phil Kessel on a third line offensively, but he's not a penalty killer. He's not a shot blocker, Ron. I think if you allow 45 shots on goal or more than 35 in playoff games, you're going to see rebounds like we saw at the end of the game yesterday, which resulted in the game-tying goal by Sean Couturier.
Well, I have mixed feelings about it, Bob. I don't want these guys blocking shots and breaking their ankle with 6 games to go before the playoffs. I get that. You're going to have to tighten it up in the playoffs. We saw Bonino in the finals against Nashville last week on the PK Subban shot, broke his foot or ankle or whatever it was that he broke. It's a dangerous thing to block those shots, and you'd hate to see a Crosby or Malkin do it right before the playoffs, but I get it. You got to tighten it up and block those lanes. I think they need to do a better job back-checking on the first 2 goals yesterday by Philly. Murray saw them both, couldn't stop them, but I think Kessel loafed on one of them and Malkin loafed on another getting back, and that makes it tough on the goaltender. It's not just the defenseman. It's a full-team defensive situation.
No question about that. It takes it all, and they all have to get back into play, and if they don't, if they take, you can do that now, but you better not do that in a best-of-7 when some of these games are extremely important. We'll see what they do. Pirates today sent 2 guys to the minors, including Kyle Crick out of the bullpen, and a little bit of a surprise, Jose Osuna. And the reason I say that, Ron, is because they open up in Detroit, which they'll use a designated hitter. As it is right now, they're going to go with 8 bullpen pitchers, 5 starters, 13 pitchers, and that leaves only Frazier, I think Diaz, the backup catcher, Freese, and who am I missing? Sean Rodriguez. 4 bench players, you minus Frazier, who will play as a DH. That leaves 3. Why not Osuna for at least the first
I don't know. I don't like it at all. They sent down Crick, too. Now they have literally he was the only major leaguer they got back in the McCutchen trade. They have nobody on their opening day roster that they traded McCutchen for. Now, a little better return on the Garrett Cole situation. But I'm with you. I would have rather kept another bench guy and 1 less reliever, especially with 3 days off in the first, 8 or 9 days of the season. I don't get it.
The other thing going on still is the Pitt coaching search, and that will continue. No end in sight at this point. We'll take your calls on all these topics and more. It's 412-575-2600, so get on the phone. Let us hear from you right here, right now. It's Pittsburgh CW.